No, I'm in the group of death.
I've still got Mark Ball. Well, anyone can play.
Yeah. Welcome back. We are not in the shed today. We are at Windmill Hill and Milton Keynes having a little vlog, and there's people around me shaking their heads because we got a tough group. Operation Get Out of Our Group by the end of 2025 is underway, and today might be a bit of a big ask, but we're going to have to play some good stuff. For those of you who don't know, this is the ADC, so we have a weekly tournament. There is 6 in a group, 4 groups, and top 2 from each group go through to a knockout. We have got a very tough group. We've got Modes player, and yeah, everyone we're playing against tonight has thumped us in the past, so I'm just going to vlog it to you as real as it is, and we'll see how we get on. So maybe take some pressure off. Let's see how we get on. Let's go. So our first game of the evening is up against Ollie, who's been on the vlog before, and we did get the better of him last time, but I have noticed he's come on leaps and bounds since just before Christmas. But we start quite positively here, picking up a 97 to get up under away, and actually in this opening game you can see both of us play some pretty good darts. As we trundle down here, we pick up just about an 83, could have been a bit more, to leave us some way behind Ollie, who at this moment in time is just about to apply maximum pressure. And that's a 1-2-5 to leave him on 32. I'm then purely throwing to try and put him under a fair bit of pressure, and we don't quite manage it here, so that is leaving us back on 1-3-4. Ollie's on 32. Takes a step to the left, and I just want to pull the camera out here to show you how far he's moved across. And he finds it to go 1-0 up, which is a really good leg, very tidy. 21 darts, could have been 19. And we go 1-0 down. Each game is a race to 2, so you have to start off pretty well. And in the second leg, we continue that kind of finding a treble most visits, which at this kind of level does keep the pressure on. And that 1-2-3 leaves us back on 149. And throughout this game we're keeping it relatively straight. That leaves us back on 90. And Ollie almost breaks our heart there, but misses a dart at tops for the match. So we come back with 90. And I must admit, when I stepped back I was planning on going on treble 18, but with Ollie almost making there, I decided to just keep the dart straight to give myself at least a dart at the ball. The first one finds, however, treble 20, so we're down at double 15. And we pin it. Nice little 90 checkout. Same as the last few weeks, we seem to start really well, particularly with our scoring. We seem to find it quite early on really well. And we're off to a decider as Ollie opens up with 100 there. We are slightly behind, obviously, against the throw, but we apply some pressure with a 140. Which leaves us on 80, Ollie on 48 now, so he's going to get match darts again. Coming in, down to double 10. And misses. So, we're left on 80. We've got a shot here to win our first game in, as I've said before, quite a tricky group. Idea of the game is to keep it straight, but we leave it out to the right. You can see I'm laughing there because I must admit, little mental flaw. I was thinking about that darts at tops before I'd even chucked the second one. And it drifts off to the right, and at least we tidy it up here to leave top. So we've done all we can now at this point. Ollie gives me a little bit of hope here, but then pins it second dart. We lose 2-1, but apart from our first 9 in the in the last leg, which was quite poor. We played pretty well. Try, mate. So are you.
Yeah.
That's a good game. The game's come pretty fast here, and our second game's up against Kevin. Kevin is best players, really, in the ADC up here at Windmill Hill. So I must admit, it was a bit of a free hit. I'm taking aim there at treble 10 and trying to be positive and just fling it into the single 13, which, you know, only means one thing is going to happen. We're going to find 13 again. That leaves tops, and it's a level game. And put my hands up to say, Kev, I am, yeah, look at my face. Yeah, a little shake of the head. I'm struggling, and we've somehow picked up a leg here. Kevin clearly is a bit frustrated with his own game, a little bit. That being said, he's very chilled out bloke, but clearly can play a lot better, and then steps up and applies maximum pressure early on, and that's just a little taste of what we're up against here. We actually in this leg play a little bit better. We find a 1-2-5, we find then an 85, but in between we're just dropping off, and Kevin's played this leg pretty tidily, to be fair. He's down to 56, we're out of it, so we need him to miss, but he doesn't, and that's 20 darts. You can see, you know, for us we'd be absolutely thrilled with that, but for Kevin, probably not his best, but that's another 2-1 defeat, and the group of death is absolutely pinning us as we go into our third game. Game number 3, we're up against Chris, and a little bit kind of what I said earlier on. We're trying to find it, and when we do, we find it quite quickly. And then when we don't, we struggle. But we pin in 60 and 2 darts, just about. It looked like the first dart was going to fall out there. Chris has got an absolutely lovely throw and applies a fair amount of pressure in the deciding leg here with a 140. We do hit back with a 135, but we've been well off the scoring in comparison to Chris, who's powered ahead in this leg. And he's playing some really nice darts. He's down to a finish, trying to tidy up to win the game. And he misses, which keeps us just about interested at this point. But again, we're not really able to apply too much pressure, so more match darts coming in for Chris. By the absolute skin of our teeth and a lot of luck, we're still in it. And I guess, if you've already guessed, this game's going to finish in a pretty harsh way. I considered not putting this little bit in because it was so frustrating, but eventually one of us is going to hit it, and of course, it's the man that doesn't really deserve it. That is darts, ladies and gentlemen. Cold, to say the least. So first game we actually felt I played really well, and you probably saw in the scoring phase we were absolutely fine. The finish on the 90 was lovely. Obviously I went 20s route because he was already on a finish, and I felt really good going into the second game because Kevin's a really tidy player and he didn't start very strong, so I was kind of like thinking, if I just stick with it I've got a little chance. And it didn't really come to fruition. I just couldn't get that rhythm that I had in the first game, and that scoring was absolutely dreadful. He's a good player, promoted series player, challenge tour as well, and cleans up here more often than not. That's Mat Caste. Just couldn't get the scoring going, and actually Kevin was below his standards. I could have stole it if we'd have been half decent. then the third game, I mean, you saw it unfold, not much to say. I didn't really like winning that way, but that's kind of the way it goes at times, right? You try really hard to stick to it, and then you don't. And I noticed I was like even making counting mistakes and that kind of thing, which isn't, I'm just looking back here, like leaving myself 166 and stuff like that, you know, just because I'm getting frustrated with how it's going. But it's going to happen to me at some point, so might as well dish it out when we can, and we'll take it. So 2 games to go, 1-1, lost 2. We've still got to play Matt, obviously. That's going to be solid. We've got to just bring our performance from the shed, right? Bring it in. And then a final game against Steve, good friend of mine. Yeah, not sure how that was going to go. That's going to be close. Yeah, pretty good fun. Good evening so far. And let's get these last 2 games done. I did notice in that little clip, I look pretty tired, and with a complete lapse of concentration, we think we're throwing to start the game, but we haven't even balled up, so I'm taking aim at treble 20. You know, I've got to take every advantage I can against Matt, and yeah, I've absolutely made myself look like a right so-and-so, like a right fool. What a fool. Anyway, they said throw it again. I can't bring myself to do that. It doesn't seem fair, so I throw the dart away, and I lose the throw. Anyway, match number 4, we're up against Mat Caste. Matt runs it on a week-to-week basis. Absolute legend of a bloke. Been really sound with me since I've been in to the ADC. Obviously with no experience whatsoever. And yeah, just really made the whole atmosphere in the place really welcoming, which is great for people like myself that are really still learning the game. But I don't want to leave you any spoilers. We're 1-0 down here, and I'm just going to leave and shut up now and let you watch Matt have a pretty impressive leg of darts. The other really interesting thing I noticed when I was playing Matt was his technique. It's the same finish, the same velocity, the same rhythm time after time. And if you as I'm watching this back, I'm noticing I am quitting on darts all the time. In the first game and in the last, you'll see I'm finishing a little bit more properly, particularly early on. First game, I'm finishing my throw, I'm full release, I'm just chucking it at the target. It looks quite free. In the middle games, I look so awkward. I am quitting on it, my hand is going off to the right, my finger's pointing out to the right, I'm not releasing the dart properly, and I'm quitting on it. I'm probably a bit scared, a little bit nervous. So I can kind of see that I thought maybe it's mental, but it might just be a technical thing as well. Generally, I might generally just get a bit nervous and then get a bit tight, so my technique really diminishes during the game. And that's a 13 dart leg. Absolutely loved watching it. I must admit, I'm watching my body language back. I'm moping a bit. I'm feeling a bit sorry for myself. Ref there says just give me a chance. Can't complain about though. Really great to watch. And yeah, we go to the final game, just hoping to pick up where we started. Really, we started the night really well, but as we've got on this evening, we've really struggled. Now we're up against Steve, who started at about the same time as me, but has really kicked on. We've got a tough game here, but we're scoring pretty nicely, opening up with a 140 in the first leg and keeping them straight for a 60. So yeah, we've kind of, what was lost against the better players, so to speak, when we're up against someone of a similar ilk, we seem to have just found it again, and that must be a mental thing because our inconsistency is so wide. As we just go 1-0 down there. So we're into the second leg, and again, we are by no means out of this game. We gave Steve a pretty good run in the first leg, and he took it out in 20 darts, which is pretty handy. the first leg, despite a 140-60 start, we then did go missing, but with Steve having the throw, we probably would have just about lost out either way. We see here Steve is playing absolutely fantastic darts, opening up with a 100, a 100, a 60, and then replies to my 140 here, which weren't a million miles away, with a 140 of his own. So we are again really struggling and behind, but we've scored much better. We've got ourselves down. Steve leaks a match dart over to the single 5, which gives us an outside chance. We need to apply some pressure. And again, kind of the theme of the night, when we really needed to find something, we're not finding it. And that's just a mere 41. So we're way back again on 84 as Steve then busts. So we come back and I'm just thinking, do you know what? I was in between starting on the ball. We go at the 20s. It looked pretty good in the air, but it was pretty short. And then we tried to go double-double. What? Yeah, no, come on. Let me off. Because we're already out. It was nice to be playing well again. You know, first and last game, we've played pretty well. But Steve just punishes me there. Tidies up his 35 to win. And look at that. First 986. 75 average. 77 and 64 for us. You know, that's going to keep me coming back next time. I actually look a bit happier again, which is pretty nice. That wraps up an evening where we don't quite finish bottom of the group. We finish second to last. So Operation Get Out of Our Group by the end of 2025 continues. Only thing I would say, we finished with a 58 average for the evening. In other groups, that would have been quite comfortably through. I know we still have to finish the doubles to win the matches, but we're in a tough group. Maybe something on the attitude to be said about remaining a bit more positive, particularly in the middle there when we were up against players that were just way better than us. We'll build on that. And that's a wrap. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Take care.